All right, Frank, grew up in Ghana, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you just tell us a little bit about your early childhood, growing up, your family, what that was like?
Yeah. I think basically I grew up with a single mother. It was my mom who raised me up, and she was a Christian. So it made it very easier for me, like as in growing up. But it kind of grew up from a very humble beginning, like a humble background. So basically for me, that was how I grew up. Raised by a single mother who loved God, who introduced me to God.
How many siblings did you have?
On the side of my mom, there are 4, and on the side of my dad, there are 5. So in total, I have 9 siblings.
9 siblings, that's great. And when you say humble beginnings, give us a little picture of that.
Normally, when we say humble beginnings, as in someone who is from Ghana, back home in Africa, it's not like a place of an advantage, but I would say it's a place of like, let me use the word like poverty. Yeah, it's a little bit rampant over there. So, yeah, that's the kind of background that I grew up from. I grew up from like a mother who just raised me up, taking care of other children, who wasn't really working. So it was quite a very challenging background for me growing up. Yeah.
Now, at some point, you decided you were going to leave home and pursue your education. Talk a little bit about that.
So after college, I had the opportunity to travel to Italy to go and pursue my postgraduate over there. But before that, what really moved me into like pursuing the course that I went to do in Italy was I had a grandmom who had a little farm. So basically during vacation, like we used to work over there. And I could really see how the farmers, they put in so much effort in order to make produce food and all those kind of things, but it kind of, they don't get results out of the input that they put in to produce it. And also like me facing challenges in terms of like food access, like hunger and all those kind of things, it kind of developed a passion in me to pursue a program in agriculture, something that probably in the near future I would be able to impact society and make a massive contribution towards hunger and making food accessible to the ordinary people. So these are kind of things that motivated me to pursue a higher degree in order to be able to make impact in my society.
That's incredible. So you left your family in Ghana, got a college degree in Ghana, and you worked yourself through that, right?
Yes, I worked myself through
And then you worked the whole visa process to get yourself to Italy to get a master's degree in what?
I did sustainable agriculture.
Sustainable agriculture, all right. Yes. And then you ended up coming to the States.
Yes.
How did you get here?
So basically, when I was in college, like in my first year in college, I had a friend. We were all in the same church and we were all serving the same church. So he kind of like came to the States because he had an elder brother here. So his elder brother worked it out for him to like move in here. So after completion of my studies in Italy, I was just looking forward, as I said, I want to pursue a higher career, higher degree. And I saw that the US is one of the countries that have like opportunities that probably will give me an advantage to help me, guide me, pursue what I want to achieve. So I kind of reached out to him and it was like, oh, okay, it will be easier for you because I'm here. But the amazing thing is he is in Virginia, and here I am here in Florida, Santa Rosa Beach. So I kind of spoke to him, and my friend is in the Navy.
Okay.
So we made an arrangement. I was supposed to be in Virginia, and he told me like, no, he has to go on deployment, so it's not possible for me to come to Virginia. So he had a friend, and they had to make calls, and then that friend lives here in Florida, and that is how I came here.
That's pretty wild.
Yes.
And so once you got to the States, you started looking for a degree, the place that would help you best be able to do the sustainable agriculture, to go back to Ghana and make a difference there. And you ended up at Syracuse University.
Yeah.
Now, how did you end up at Syracuse, and how did you get in? Because that's kind of a miracle, right?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
One day I just took my laptop. And I always say it's a miracle because I don't know what happened. I just opened my laptop and then I found this page on my laptop. So I don't know if probably maybe someone just used my laptop or have access to my laptop to but I saw the university on my laptop as in Syracuse University. So I reached out to, I searched through it and then I realized they have a program that I'm very interested. It's something that I'm passionate about and something that is in line with what I want to do. So I just reached out to the programs director, and then we organized an interview, and then I think she loved what I wanted to do, and the interview, I think it went very well. So she told me apply, but I was quite hesitant because normally I don't know, the procedures and everything is very stressful. So I said, no, why? Let me just take a chance and then just do it. So I just made the application, and then I had admission. They just gave me the admission, and that was how I'm going to be in Syracuse University.
And now you had to get a different visa to be there, right?
Yes, I had to get a different visa because I came here with a different visa. Yes. And the process is very tedious. So I quite remember I spoke to them, and they were like, oh, you have to go back to your country to go and make application. But in my country, the appointment date to get a visa is like in 2024. So there's no way I will be able to get an appointment date and then move out and then come to the States to come and study. So normally there is this portion that you'll be able to convert your visa when you come into the States for educational purposes. And normally it's going to take a long time, probably maybe like a year or maybe like 2 years. So I decided to give it a try and see how it goes. So I remember I spoke to my advisor in the university, and she was like, it's going to take a long time. The least is going to be like 1 year. And I quite remember I told her, do you believe in miracles? And she was like, yeah, I do believe in miracles, but this one, I'm telling you, it's not. It's going to take like a year or at least a year for you for them to change your visa for you. And I said, yes, I will do that. Let's see how it goes. And so I did it. And exactly 3 months, the US government approved my visa application. I don't know how it happens. Normally, when I tell people about these things, they say, no, it's not possible. It cannot happen. But it happened to me. That within 3 months, everything was changed.
That's so good, man. I feel like God really wants you there.
Yeah.
And I remember you told me the other day you can't wait to find that lady.
Yes, I just want to. When I get to Syracuse, she's the first person I'm just going to look up, and I'm just going to tell her, I'm the one who called you, and I told you, do you believe in miracles? I'm that miracle. So yeah, that's it.
Dude, love it. That's so good. Now, your time here in Santa Rosa Beach, you've gotten involved in a couple things. I want to hear you talk about those real quick. Number one, you show up here every Monday and pray with our prayer team. Why do you do that?
It's because I'm very passionate about prayer, and I said I grew up with a single mom who knew God, so she introduced me to God, and through my life, prayer has been a very strong backbone for me. It's been the foundation of my life. When I go through challenges, when I go through difficulties, all that I have to do, the first thing is just to go before God. Because I quite remember my mom told me one thing. He says, when I gave birth to you, I just dedicated you to God. And I told God, this is going to be your father and this is your son. So anytime I go through challenges, the first person I run to my father. And so when I got here to Santa Rosa Beach and I came to this church, I was just looking for a place where I can join, a place where I can pray. And then I found a prayer team, and I decided, okay, then I'm going to be part of it. So every Monday, I used to work at my place every Monday, but I told them I cannot work because every Monday I have an appointment.
Yeah.
I have a place that is very special to me, and I will never trade anything for that, and that is the prayer room and the prayer team. So yeah, that's it.
Love it. Now, you talk about your work. Tell me a little bit about, you work over at Hungry Howie's here in town, little pizza place.
Yes.
All right, let me just back up and say you work at a pizza place here in town.
Yes.
And I've heard you're like the best pizza cook in Santa Rosa Beach.
Oh no, I just try my best. I just do what I'm passionate. I love about it. I believe that anytime I stand on the make line to make pizza, I don't just see myself. I just see that I'm helping families to feed their children, their wife, their spouses in the evening. So I just try my best to make clean and nice pizza. Yeah, so
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And talk just a little bit more about that, about just kind of pursuing excellence in your work and why that matters to you.
It matters to me because I believe that in life you have to be very diligent in whatever you're doing. And if you are diligent in whatever you're doing and you are determined and focused with God, everything is just, God is just going to make way for you and you are going to, be very successful.
Man.
So, yeah.
I love it. And so your ultimate goal is to go back to Ghana.
Yes.
And work in the agriculture industry to help bring more food to people who are hungry.
Yes.
And so talk just a little bit about what you hope that looks like. And in 10 years from now, right, what you want your life to look like?
I think in 10 years right now, I'm just looking at becoming a consultant into food security issues, looking in developing countries. I'm looking at Africa, I'm looking at Southern Americans, I'm looking at a place where there's massive hunger and massive poverty. So in 10 years, I see myself becoming an international consultant who will be consulting for international organizations, for governance, in terms of food access, food security, and also food waste. Because basically there's above 800 people who every single night they go to sleep without eating. And it's a really challenge for me. And back home in Africa is really a great challenge. So in 10 years, I see myself as an international consultant making contribution towards helping the poor and the needy in Africa and also in Southern America.
That's perfect, man. And so tell me this, on your deathbed, how do you want to be remembered?
On my deathbed, I want to be remembered just 3 things. First, I want to be remembered as a man who walked with God. And his walk with God was very genuine and God was pleased with him. Secondly, I want to be remembered as a man who showed so much kindness to people. A man whose life was the epitome of kindness. And lastly, I want to be remembered as the man whose arm and whose life became a platform, a foundation for people to raise up in life. That is all I want to be remembered for.
Dude, that's so good. And you're about to bring me to tears, man. And I love to say that because I didn't prep you on that question. Like, you just knew the answer to that deep within you, man. And that's powerful. Well, dude, how can we as a church be praying for you over this next couple of years as you go in to get this degree?
Just pray that God will be with me and God will guide me to make the right choices.
We can do that, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.